And welcome to Growing Up Guide Pup. If you tuned in last week, we told you we had a surprise for you this week. This week's surprise is we traveled all the way up to Canada to visit with our puppy, number 8, Prudy, who graduated and is now a working guide. Prudy is a yellow lab female who has a very unique beauty mark on the left side of her lip. She was an amazing puppy for us to raise, very easygoing and super cuddly. And we've only seen her once in the last 20 months. Prudy lives over on Vancouver Island in a town called Nanaimo, and we flew into Vancouver and had to take a ferry over to go visit her. We were a little worried on the way there that she wasn't going to recognize us right away, but when we got off the ferry and she saw us, well, that all changed. She just lost it. She lost all control and was so excited to see us. Like we were her long-lost friends, and she was just jumping for joy, and it really blew us away, and I'm so touched that she remembered us. So after we had our big, massive greeting, we climbed into the car. Prudy kept looking behind the seat and just to check in, make sure we were still there. She was like in disbelief that we actually came to visit her. We went out to lunch with Prudy and her partner Donna and her husband Ron. And so this gives you a good idea of why we're constantly taking Ricky with us to restaurants to show you how well Prudy needs to behave in a restaurant. Prudy was awesome. She's a veteran at this, and she basically slept through the entire meal, being a fantastic girl. So, you know, this is exactly what we're trying to get Ricky to do, and Ricky so far is doing excellent, just like Prudy is. As puppy raisers, we don't always get to see our dogs working once they've graduated. Now, the only time we've seen Prudy since she's gone back for training was at her graduation, and that's not always the best time to actually see what their skills are. So Donna decided to take us up to Vancouver Island University to show off some of Prudy and hers working skills. So we also met up with Donna's daughter Raylene and a good friend of hers, Patricia, to join us on our walk. So before we started our walk, we decided to try putting a small camera on Prudy's harness to try to get her perspective. Well, it didn't work out as well as we thought, so we have very, very little footage for you guys, but it was an interesting experiment. And Prudy didn't seem distracted by having a camera on her at all. This campus is just loaded with stairs. Every couple feet we were going either up or down more stairs. So it was quite the workout, and it was just amazing watching Prudy pause and wait for Donna to find the step and navigate the stairs with her, and I can see how it's a huge help for Donna to have Prudy with her. This is a reminder for how important it is for us with Ricky to make sure she can go up and down stairs nice and slowly and confidently, and also not to jump off any steps or rush up or down. This is why we have spent so much time with Ricky teaching her how to go up and down stairs nice and calmly and not skip any of them, because as a guide, she's going to need to guide somebody up and down the stairs and make sure they don't trip or fall. We also got to see some of the amazing skills Prudy learned while she was up in training at the Guide Dogs for the Blind campus. She's learned to navigate crosswalks and also alert Donna at any level change like curbs to make sure she doesn't trip and fall over them, and just basically watch out for traffic and all things that we as puppy raisers don't get to teach the dogs and don't really get to see a whole lot of. Prudy has matured so much. As a puppy, she loved to swim, and I hear she still really likes to swim in the water. But when she's got her harness on and she's working, it's amazing to see how focused she is, even as we pass fountains and a koi pond.
So what's the problem, Patricia? You can't find Donna?
Well, normally when I travel with guide dog users, it's very much like this.
Like what?
Jess! Where are you, Jess? I'm way over here!
Are you saying that it's hard to keep up?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, you're at some stairs now.
You're at some stairs.
Because they're just like, okay, forward, okay, go, 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 go. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't sense that traffic pole or whatever that your dog just walked you past.
After our walk, we had a very nice conversation with Donna's friend Patricia, who was also considering getting a guide dog, but had some hesitations.
Well, we were honored to hear that you were thinking about getting a guide dog because
Really?
you watched our show. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it really, it means a lot to us. That
It definitely put me back on it. Because for a while I was like, no. But then watching it, I was like, it is really, there's something in me that says I want to go and do it, but I just don't know when yet.
Now, I understand that guide dogs aren't for everyone, so Patricia, if you do finally decide to get one, let us know and we'll happily come support you at your graduation. So after we parted ways with Patricia, it was time for us to head home, and the way to do that was to take the bus. Prudy, being the pro that she is, had no problem boarding the bus, finding a seat for her and Donna, and laying nice and calmly underneath Donna's seat until it was time for us to get off. This is a great reminder for us that Ricky needs to be comfortable with any type of public transit before she goes back to the campus for her formal training. So there's a lot of stereotypes out there that service dogs don't get to have fun. Well, that's totally false. When we got back to the house, it was time for Prudy to let loose and have some fun and play. One of Prudy's best friends is Donna's daughter, Raylene. They just love hanging out together and playing together, and they're super bonded. And it's so nice to see that the entire family has embraced having Prudy in their household. It was so nice to see how well Prudy has bonded with her new family and how much they've bonded with her. It's not something we get to see very often as puppy raisers or dogs in their new families and households, but it truly does make us feel great and warm inside to know that she really truly missed us, but she was very much falling around her new family and wanting to be with them instead of us. It's a little bittersweet, but in the end, that's exactly what we wanted. A huge thank you to Donna and her family for opening their lives and their home to us so we could visit with our baby girl Prudy. We are so proud of her and the dog that she has become, and are so thankful she ended up with such a wonderful family. So if you'd like to see any footage of Prudy when she was a puppy, we don't have very much, but we have a great little video of her swimming with Eli called Water Dogs, and there'll be a link to it at the end of this episode. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time on Growing Up Guide Pup.